Reba McEntire is the Queen of Country Music, Queen of The Voice Season 26, and also, as this 2021 performance shows, Queen of Singing Prayers you've heard in church in a video shared by Gator Music. TV. McEntire performed the Lord's Prayer in a small studio in Nashville. Accompanied only by a piano, the number is McEntire at her best, soulful, spiritual, and mesmerizing. And it's a must-add whether you're religious or not. Seeing McEntire perform the Lord's Prayer is an emotional experience. Watch her heavenly cover here. Every note is pitch perfect. Her tone is flawless. While this particular hymn is fairly straightforward in composition, Venti's vocals lifted up in a way that touches people of all ages. For many church-going people, the Lord's Prayer is canon, and McEntire's version makes it even more inspiring. McEntire doesn't shy away from speaking about her faith. In fact, she credits it for shaping her into the country icon she is today. In a 2019 interview with Christian Post, McEntire talked openly about her faith and how her relationship with God has impacted her career and life in general. "It's all God. He's the reason for everything I do," she told the outlet. "I pray that I will find songs to record that will touch people's hearts and heal their hearts. Before I go on stage, I ask the Holy Spirit to touch people in the audience if they need healing or comfort." When it comes to creating music throughout her career, the season 25 winning coach of The Voice explained that there's a special relationship between her God and her millions of fans. "God gave the songwriters that gift, and if there's something in Psalms that can come out of my mouth and touch a person and heal their heart, it's all worth it to me." McEntire added, "Music has allowed me to do wonderful things God intended for the people who are listening in the realm of country music." Reba McEntire has long been a name synonymous with powerful storytelling, raw emotion, and an undeniable connection to her roots from her early days as a rodeo girl with dreams of singing to becoming one of the most celebrated female country artists in history. Reba's journey has always been steeped in faith, but there's one performance that transcends her already illustrious career, revealing a side of her artistry that speaks directly to the soul. Her rendition of the Lord's Prayer in this profoundly spiritual performance. Reba McEntire doesn't just sing, she invites us into an intimate space where music becomes a vessel for divine expression. Reba's connection to gospel music has always been more than a casual relationship. Raised in the small town of Chalky, Oklahoma, Reba grew up attending church with her family, where the sounds of gospel hymns filled her Sundays. Those early influences never left her, finding their way into her music even as she climbed the ranks of country stardom. While Reba has always been known for her narrative-driven ballads and upbeat country tunes, her spiritual foundation has remained constant, a cornerstone of who she is as both an artist and a person. When she steps onto the stage to sing the Lord's Prayer, it's not just another song, it's a moment of reverence, a calling back to those Sunday mornings in Oklahoma where faith was as much a part of life as the rolling hills and ranches. In this particular performance, her voice becomes a conduit for something higher, carrying with it the weight of a lifetime's worth of faith, struggle, and grace. There is a timeless quality to the Lord's Prayer that resonates with people across generations and cultures. It is a prayer that has been spoken, sung, and meditated upon for over 2,000 years, a direct link to the teachings of Christ. Yet, when Reba McEntire takes on this sacred piece, there's an added layer of depth that comes from her own lived experiences. Her rendition is simple, free of the heavy orchestration or elaborate embellishments that often accompany performances of religious ends. This simplicity is in itself a profound statement. Reba understands that the power of the Lord's Prayer doesn't come from how it is performed, but from the prayer's inherent meaning and spiritual resonance. She allows the words to stand on their own, her voice soaring and lilting in gentle waves that wash over the audience like a quiet revelation. As she sings, "Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name," there is a sense of stillness that settles in the room. The simplicity of the arrangement gives space for the prayer's sacredness to breathe. Reba's voice, with its signature blend of strength and vulnerability, wraps around each word, delivering the prayer with both humility and authority. In that moment, she becomes not just a performer, but a vessel for something larger than herself. What makes Reba's performance of the Lord's Prayer so compelling is not just her technical mastery, the personal testimony that seems to radiate from every note. Her life, much like the lives of those who listen to her music, and tragedies she has known, loss, heartache, and the kind of challenges that test one's faith. In 1991, Reba faced one of the darkest moments of her life when a plane crash took the lives of 8 members of her band. That tragedy, though devastating, didn't shatter her faith. Instead, it seemed to deepen it. When Reba sings "Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven," you can hear the resonance of someone who has walked through the valley of the shadow of death and come out the other side still believing. It's this authenticity, this unshakable faith, that makes her rendition so much more than a song. It's a declaration of trust in a higher power, a willingness to surrender to the divine will even when life seems inexplicable. In her delivery of the line, "Give us this day our daily bread," there is an intimate recognition of the human need for grace, for provision, for something greater than ourselves to guide us through the uncertainties of life. Reba's voice doesn't just sing these words, it embodies them, offering them up like a prayer for every person who has ever found themselves on their knees searching for hope. There's something uniquely communal about Reba's performance of the Lord's Prayer. Even though she is the one singing, the audience becomes a part of the experience in a way that feels deeply spiritual. It's as if her voice taps into a collective yearning for connection, both to each other and to the divine. As the prayer moves through its familiar cadence, there's a sense that everyone present is participating in something sacred. When Reba reaches the climactic line, "And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil," her voice swells with a quiet urgency. In that moment, the distance between performer and audience evaporates, replaced by a shared vulnerability, a mutual dual recognition of the need for protection and guidance in a world that often feels overwhelming. It's in this communion of souls that Reba's performance becomes more than just a recall of words. It becomes a spiritual experience. Whether in a concert hall or a church, her rendition of the Lord's Prayer invites each listener to bring their own struggles, their own questions of faith into the moment. It becomes a shared journey, a collective act of seeking. Our mentor has never shied away from her faith, but in singing the Lord's Prayer, she reaches a level of spirituality that transcends religion and personal experience. Her voice becomes an instrument of divine expression, offering a glimpse into what it means to truly live one's faith through song. The performance isn't just for those who share her religious beliefs, it's for anyone who has ever felt the pull of something greater, the sense that we are all connected by our shared humanity and the divine threads that weave through it. In a world where so much of our attention is pulled in different directions, Reba's rendition of the Lord's Prayer offers a moment of stillness, a reminder that spirituality isn't something distant or unattainable. It's something we can all tap into, whether through prayer music or simply being present. Her performance reminds us that spirituality is at its most profound when it is lived, when it is felt deeply in the marrow of our bones, and when it is shared. Reba McEntire's singing of the Lord's Prayer stands as a testament to the power of music as a spiritual force. It is a performance that goes beyond entertainment, offering instead a moment of profound connection to the divine. Through her voice, Reba channels both the strength and fragility of the human spirit, offering the prayer not just as a PSAL, but as a lifeline, a way of communicating with something beyond ourselves. In a career filled with iconic moments, this performance of the Lord's Prayer remains one of Reba McEntire's most profound. It is a reminder that its best music isn't just about hitting the right notes, it's about opening up a space where something sacred can enter. And in those moments, whether we are singing along or simply listening, we are reminded of the power of faith, the depth of grace, and the profound beauty of a soul lifted in prayer.